Hey, welcome back to Self-Care Sunday. Somebody calling me while I'm live. I've seen it all. Okay. We're telling your followers that you've started a live hangout while we're telling more followers to join. I ain't gonna hang too long because I got stuff to do. Hey, Lakita. How you doing? Hey, y'all. Welcome back to my live. We got some good stuff we got to talk about. Y'all make it to church this morning? I did. I just had communion, and it was good. So praise God for that. What about you, Shakantala, Lakita? I'm well. Thank you for asking. I'm really good. I just had communion, child, and it was good. Just broke bread. So I'm even better trying to start my Sunday off right. And I have a little message that I'm going to share today. It's about happiness. So we're going to get into it really quick. Yes, church and communion was good, sis. It was good this morning. So without waiting too much longer, because I'm not going to keep you, today we're talking about happiness on my this is my transformation series for anybody who is just tuning in and they've never watched before. My name is Punchetta Sasha Wu. I'm the founder of Punch Cosmetics, and currently this 2021 I'm starting in particular my transformation series, where it's broken up into two segments. On Saturdays, we focus on skincare transformation with Skincare Saturdays, and on Sunday, we focus on self-care transformation with Self-Care Sundays. And today, for Self-Care Sundays, we're talking about happiness through self-care. So I have one question for you guys today, and we are going to try to answer it so that we can get to a place of self-care through happiness through self-care. And that is, are you happy? Now, I know that seems kind of like, dang, she just hit me with that. Oh, thank you, Kinfolk. She just hit me with that question. How you just gonna ask me, am I happy? Well, the reason why I'm asking is because a lot of times our happiness is derived from other people. Like we find out, we think that if this person is in our life, we'll be happy if this happens, or if this person would just do this for me, or if this person would give me this, I would be happier. But happiness shouldn't be derived from what other people do or give or don't do. And that's right, fam. It's about joy. It comes from inner joy and inner happiness that you should have regardless of whether a person does something for you, a person gives you something, or a person being a part of your life. So I'm asking the question today about your own happiness. What is it derived from? Is it derived from people, places, or things? Or is it your internal happiness that's causing you joy, that's causing you to be happy or unhappy, or pleasant or unpleasant? And we're going to talk about that today really quickly. I want to talk about the fact that so many of us are unhappy because of we've been surrendering ourselves to at the expense of other people's happiness. And let me just unpack that for a minute. I say that because we will go and put ourselves last so that it can make another person, thing, or something else happy. And then we become unhappy because of what that person did or did not do to appreciate the sacrifices that we made for others. So that's why we are talking about happiness, because we got to stop doing that, because it happens at the expense of our own unhappiness. So let me talk about, so what I want to talk about today is the fact that we got to learn how to take care of ourselves first so that we can better take care of other people. And then we got to stop pointing the finger at other people for the things that they do or don't do for us. Let me give you an example. We get into these relationships sometimes and we start going over and beyond, doing all these things for all these other people. And then as soon as they do something that we don't like, we become unhappy because we're giving more than we're getting. Well, the first problem is that we got to stop feeling like we got to do in order to be appreciated. You ought to learn how to be. You got to first learn how to be. You got to be happy in order to receive happiness. That's the thing that we fail to realize. So if you go into a situation thinking, okay, if I do this for this person, if I give this to them, then that'll make me happy. And then when they don't do it, what happens when they don't do it and you're not happy? Well, that's on you, sis. That's on you. So we got to learn how to be happy, be love, be joy with or without somebody giving or doing something to us. Our happiness cannot rest on someone else. It can't be because of someone else. I'm not ever going to, and I speak from experience. I'm just now getting to a place of happiness. I'm the happiest that I've ever been in my life, and that's because I focus, and this may sound really selfish, but I focus on my own personal happiness. I'm not doing something just because it makes you feel good. I'm not doing something just because it'll make you happy. I'm doing it because it's going to make me feel some type of way. At the end of the day, I'm going to get joy from it, not because you're going to get joy from it. And so oftentimes our happiness comes from pleasing other people. So we got to stop doing that. We got to stop focusing on pleasing others. And we have to start doing more of those things that please, and satisfy us. Now, some people will say, okay, well, that sounds selfish. That sounds really selfish. Like I'm only thinking about myself. I'm supposed to only think about myself all the time? No, that's not what I mean. I mean, you're going to have to learn how to tell people no when you know those things the things that they ask of you do not align with your happiness. They don't align with your purpose. They don't align with the things that give you joy. So you know that this person is asking you to do something that you don't want to do, but you go and do it anyway. And then afterwards you feel resentment, you feel frustration, you get upset, and then you start feeling some type of way about them. No, that's not their fault. That's your fault because you should have told them no in the first place. And all of this happens a lot of times is because we have poor boundaries. We have poor boundaries that we set, and then we allow people to just take advantage of that. So one of the first things that we have to talk about to get to the point of happiness is 1, telling people no, 2, setting boundaries, and 3, focus on removing the things from your life, whether it be people, places, or things that are going to trigger you and make you feel away or frustrate you or try to get you to do things that are not aligned with things that you want or the things that make you happy. So today, happiness through self-care, the topic is happiness through self-care, because we have to start talking about the things that make us happy. And we need to start doing those things to make us happy so that we could be happier in life, happier at work, happier in our relationships, happier in our family dynamics. All of that starts with us setting boundaries, saying no, and doing the things that we know that's going to fulfill us first and foremost, before we start trying to do things and expect people to respond to the things that we do to them, thinking that's going to make us happy. And it doesn't oftentimes, because we don't really understand ourselves enough to understand the things that we need to be doing first to satisfy our own happiness. I have to speak from a place of experience, because there was a point in my life where I was miserable, really miserable. Hey, Gary, how you doing? Welcome to the live. And that was because I was making a whole lot of sacrifices for everybody else but myself. I wasn't doing things to please me or things that gave me joy. I was doing things that pleased others. And all of that happened to my own detriment. And it led to a lot of frustration. And I gave my power away to other individuals who didn't really care about making me happy. And that's a problem as well. We do that all the time in relationships. We get into relationships with people who don't really care if we're happy or not. And they don't care if we're happy. They only care so long as they're able to get what they need from us or get what they want out of us. And that ain't right. So, and so many times that happens because we allow it to happen without thinking about how that's going to ultimately make us feel in the end. So today, I'm not going to keep you long. I'm going to remind you of these three things that you and I, all of us, need to be doing so that we could be happier in life, in love, in working career, and in our family dynamics in general. We got to learn to, one, say no to people, places, or things that are not going to feed our spirit or our soul. That is the ultimate self-care. Learning how to say no and saying it with your chest. Can we do that today? Say no with your chest if what someone is asking you to do for them does not align with your spirit, your joy, and your happiness. If it's not going to satisfy you and you know it's going to frustrate you, telling people no. Tell those things no. Walk away and don't do it. The next thing we're going to do is to set clear boundaries. Set some boundaries, sis, bro. Tell people, okay, now this is where I draw the line with this stuff. And let them understand that that's where your line is drawn. You have clear boundaries set to where they can't cross over that. And then there's no misunderstanding about who you are and where you stand. I promise you, you'll be happier. You'll have more peace, because peace is the ultimate point of happiness. When you can experience peace, I promise you, joy is on the other end of it. Peace and joy, they go hand in hand. So when you set clear boundaries with people and you make it understood that you are not accepting this, that, or the third, this isn't happening this way, it's not going down, sis, bro. If this is what you think it is, then you are sadly mistaken. You'll be happier for it. And I'm going to give you an example of that. How women always will go back and say, especially in a bad relationship, you get into this bad relationship with somebody or a toxic relationship. It could be a friend or a guy. And you allow them to do some things that you know that you don't want to accept or cannot accept. Then after they do it, you feel some type of way about them, and you want to play victim like they did that to you. No, you allowed it. You allowed it. So you can't be frustrated with that person and angry because they did what you allowed, when all you had to do was set some boundaries in the first place so that they knew not to play with you to begin with. So that's that on that. People need to know how to set clear boundaries with folks and let those people know and understand that you're not taking no mess from them. And it may take a long time because some people are just not built that way, to say no or to tell people that you don't want to do this or you can't do that, or, hey. So that's what we're talking about today. Number 3, the last thing that we need to do to get happiness and joy. I forgot my other point, y'all. I completely got thrown off just that quick. So I'm about to end my live because I got a little situation here, so it's kind of crazy. I'm going to come back later tonight. See y'all later. I'm sorry to end this so quick, but I have to.
I actually didn't even get a notification. That was weird.